Well, hey there, welcome back to my channel. So excited that you're here with me today for another video. Today, we're going to be doing a video that is taking you along on our trip that we recently went on to the big island of Hawaii. So if you have not been around, my family and I are a military family and we actually just moved to Hawaii in August. And this is our first big trip to go see one of the other islands. So we will be stationed here, my husband's military, for the next couple of years, if the Lord wills us to be. And we want to make sure that we go see all of the different islands of Hawaii while we're here. And so we decided on our first chance that we were going to go see one of the islands that we were most excited about because there was active volcanoes going off while we were there. So we went to the big island of Hawaii. We got to see, I'm forgetting the name of the volcano as I'm recording, so that's going to be a little bit embarrassing, but we're just going to keep going. But we got to see volcanoes. We went to a black sand beach, a green sand beach, and we had just an incredible time. Hiked over 20 miles over the course of just a couple of days, and we just made a lot of really great family memories. So I'm recording this intro because I never actually started an intro to the video. So now I'm going to take you through the trip, and as we go through the trip, I'm going to be giving you some of just what we learned while we were there. We're a homeschooling family, so of course there's going to be some lessons, some things that we learned while we were there. Because I didn't do a whole lot of, actually I didn't do any talking to the camera as we were there. I just simply took you along the day. So I thought it'd be fun to just let you in on just what we saw and what we did, and I'll give you a little bit of voiceovers throughout the video that will kind of help you to see what the trip was like and the things that we learned in the different places that we got to go explore. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you like my channel, you subscribe, leave a comment down below of your favorite thing that you see maybe, or if you've ever been to the big island of Hawaii or any of the other islands of Hawaii, if you'll share what your favorite parts of those were and things that we need to see, put those in the comments as well, so we'll have some ideas for future trips that we take, and of course we will take you along on those trips as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video and all of the fun that our family got to have, and I will see you at the end. It was a quick 20 or 30 minute flight over to the big island of Hawaii. By the time we took off and got in the air, the pilot was already saying that it was time to land. So we were really grateful for a quick flight so that we can get onto the island and start all of our adventures. We rented a car from Turo, which is a new car rental company that I guess has been around for a while, but I've not ever heard of before, but we are definitely going to be using it in the future. We used it when we arrived on Oahu when we first moved here to Hawaii, and we've now booked it for this trip and for our trip to California later this month. And it has just been such an easy process every time, and we are super grateful for it. It was about a 2-hour drive from the airport to the side of the island that we were going to be on, which was the east side. So the airport is on the west side. And our first stop was what's called Rainbow Falls. The best time of day to go see this is actually in the morning, and by the time we got there, it was almost 3 o'clock, so not quite the best time, and we didn't get to see the rainbow mist, which is where the name Rainbow Falls comes from, but it was still a really beautiful place to see.
And there was also
80 feet. Look.
That's how deep it is?
No, that's how high it is, like from the top of the waterfall to the water. Look, visiting Rainbow Falls around 1900. 1890.
will see the cave. We will find the river.
After exploring Rainbow Falls, we decided to have a quick early dinner because we knew that we weren't going to have much time between the next couple of stops. We were on a bit of a time crunch trying to make sure that we got to see everything that we wanted to see in the short time that we were going to be here on the island. So we had about a 30-minute drive and there was a cute little food place right there on the side of the road on the way. So we stopped and had some burgers and fries before heading off to our next stop.
Whoa. How many people get down there? Is that cool?
Versus like powdered duck, which is like that's you know.
Look, it's like goes down the road.
This was another waterfall stop. This one was actually dropping 442 feet straight down into a really lush gorge that was surrounded by ferns and bamboo. It was beautiful. It's called ʻAkaka Falls and it's on the north side of Hilo in ʻAkaka Falls State Park. Definitely worth the view. It was a quick little walk. I think it was about a half-a-mile loop. So we had an easy walk and then got to look at this breathtaking waterfall afterwards, which was just so beautiful. Next up was a drive to the north side of the island to the Pololū Valley hiking trail, and we were really excited about this one. I have never personally been to a black sand beach, so I was really excited to get to see a black sand beach, and the views along the drive were just absolutely breathtaking. So we hiked down just before sunset and we had the whole beach actually completely to ourselves, which was really nice. And we learned that the black beach itself was formed from lava that had once flowed through the land. And then over time, it's been just broken down into a soft, smooth sand that we now get to walk on. For all of us, it was really a great reminder that God can take what's been through fire and turn it into something absolutely beautiful.
Last car. It's actually saying no. Hungry? What was it? That was lunch. The burger was lunch.
This is like the ultimate Halloween trail. Woo! Not gonna lie, that hike got a little bit scary at the end. There's no snakes or anything in Hawaii, which was a little bit reassuring, but there was definitely lots of really big bugs that were just crawling across the dirt in front of us and it freaked us out. So anyways, we had about a 2-hour drive from there to our hotel. I guess I would call this more of an apartment than a hotel, but we stayed at a place called Castle Koalina, I believe it was called. It was really beautiful, right on the water. We couldn't really see much when we got there that night, so we just bedded down quickly and then woke up to this beautiful view the next morning, and we were just like, wow, this was a great pick. It was actually really cheap, and I'm so glad that we stayed there. Now I know I said I was really excited for the black sand beach, and I truly was, but when I realized that there was only 1 in 4 green sand beaches in the entire world and we were about to walk on one, I couldn't wait. Unfortunately, on the 2-hour drive to the green sand beach, our middle son James got carsick, and we ended up wondering if we should even do the hike or not, but our only option was to go back down the 2 hours of road we had just driven that had made him sick, which we knew would make him more sick. So ultimately we decided, you know what, some fresh air is probably really good. And about 30 to 40 minutes into my husband carrying him on the hike, he started to come back to life and he got to walk along the rest of it with us. It's always an adventure with kids, but we were really proud of him for just being strong and getting up and being willing to keep fighting to have a good time. So anyways, this beach was called Papakōlea, and it's on the southern point of the Big Island, which is actually the southernmost point of the United States, we learned. And Papakōlea means plover flats, which is named after the native golden plover birds, Kolea, that actually migrate every year between Alaska and Hawaii. And it's one of only 4 green sand beaches in the world, which I've already mentioned, and the green color comes from a mineral called olivine, which is a crystal found in the volcanic rock from the nearby Pu'u Mahana cinder cone, which erupted around 49,000 years ago. So over time, the ocean waves have eroded the cone and released these tiny green crystals that now make up the green sand. The hike to get to the green sand beach was about 6 miles, but when you see this view, you will know that it was absolutely worth it. I was just in awe looking at this. We actually sat and had lunch right here, and I don't think I've ever had lunch in a more beautiful spot. Down there at that point there is where the green sand beach was. And then it started to get really hot, and we knew we needed to probably get back on the trail so that we could hit the road and head off to our next destination, which was the Hawaiʻi Volcano National Park. This was the stop that the boys were all the most excited for because we got to see the Kīlauea volcano actually erupting. So we didn't plan the trip around the eruption, we just happened to go at a time that it was erupting. Now, it wasn't erupting super crazy. You can see here that it's really just smoking at this point, but later on you'll get to see that we actually got to see it at night, and you can see the fiery red glow. So it was really once in a lifetime experience to get to just see an active volcano actually active, and we were really excited about that. So we got to see that a little bit, and then we drove around the park a little bit before we headed over to the Thurston lava tube, where we actually got to walk through a tunnel that was formed hundreds of years ago by flowing lava, and the kids got to see what it looks like when lava comes through a mountain and puts a hole in it. So that was really neat for them. We got to see a lot of different steam vents, and then we actually did a hike, which you're going to see next, and that was a really cool adventure as well. So this Kīlauea trail actually led all the way down to the crater floor of the volcano, not the one that was erupting, obviously. I forget the name of this one. I think it was called Halemaʻumaʻu, something like that. I'm probably saying it so wrong, but anyways, it was really cool to get to walk on the completely destroyed land of where volcano lava had come through. but still getting to see how trees are still getting to form, and we got to talk about how God can spring new things out of broken, old, used things. It was just a really cool experience. And then this here is us getting to see the lava flow at night. We went back to that original spot and it was just so cool. For our last day on the island, after about 20 miles of hiking and exploring, we knew we needed to have a day of just rest. Our flight wasn't until that evening, so we took some time to just take it slow that morning, had an easy breakfast, and then went to the pool, let the boys swim a little bit. How they still have energy after all of that hiking, I do not know, but they did. Once we checked out of our hotel, we headed over to a local arcade and we had fun on this hockey table for about 2 hours. We put $25 on a game card and we all played hockey for 2 hours and had so much fun. We are such a competitive family, so it was a good little fun time of rest for all of us. And then we headed into the arcade itself and played some of the arcade games before we got on the road, cleaned out the rental car, and then got ourselves over to the airport to fly home. It was truly an incredible trip, one that we will hopefully remember for the rest of our lives. I hope the boys do. They had such big smiles on their faces the whole time, and we were just so grateful to have a time of rest and renewal before we got into the really busy holiday season and launch season for my Christian planner business. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.